Welcome back, Shalloners. Today, I want to talk about reinvention. Now, it's the summer and back to school is coming up. And even if you're not still in school, I always think a change in the seasons and just watching other kids like go back to school, it signals sort of a mental reset where we pull back and we reevaluate our lives and look at what is working and what isn't. And I love reinventing myself. I like to edit words because I'm a professional editor, and I like to edit my life and I like to edit people. Hence what I do here. So we're going to talk about the celebrity who has reinvented herself more dramatically than anyone else, Kylie Jenner. I'm going to break down what she did right in terms of reinvention and what she did wrong so that we can take some lessons on how to reinvent ourselves, glow up, and level up in a healthy way. But first, just want to remind you that if you have a love question of your own or want to talk about anything one-on-one with me, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO and click chat to get connected right away. Also, follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO where I let you guys weigh in on the next video topic and pick what angle I should take. And also listen to my podcast, Girl on Top, every place podcasts are found, where I answer the best questions you guys submitted over the course of the week. So yeah, Kylie is kind of the queen of reinvention, and that really is the root of her popularity. She's the ultimate swan. She went from like the kind of forgotten sibling, like, oh, I didn't realize you were still there, to mom's favorite. Like if you watch the Kardashians, Kim always said, I used to be mom's favorite, and now it's Kylie because Kylie's the cash cow, and before it was Kim. So twisted. So twisted. Chris, get all your kids into therapy. But that is what resonates with people, and why people are so gassed up about Kylie is because we want to see ourselves as being capable of that kind of reinvention too. Who doesn't want to step outside of their shell of adolescence, when you're gawky and awkward and unsure and outshined by maybe your siblings or your friend, and really step into your own light, your own lane, your own billion-dollar fortune? So there's a lot of things Kylie did right, and there's a lot of things she did wrong. Guess which one she did more of? Weirdly, it's wrong. Yeah. So I've talked about Kylie before and how she's kind of a cold-blooded animal, but you know what? We're going to save that. We're going to save that down the line. Let's first talk about everything Kylie did right. And it's easy to focus on, like she's prettier and she's this. Reinvention comes from within. And the outward form it takes is just that. It's the outward form. It's the symptom of the larger impetus, which has to come from inside ourselves. And Kylie reinvented herself in a healthier way than Khloe because Kylie left behind her old self completely. When we look at Khloe Kardashian, she's glowed up. She looks different. I think she's pretty. I never thought there was anything wrong with the way she looked to begin with. It's crazy. But anyway. Khloe continues her victim narrative. She talks about it. Her whole revenge body show, like every single person she helps on there, she starts with the preamble about herself. How she was the ugly sister. She was the fat sister. It's like she is still living that label no matter what she does to her body. She's still 13. She's still there. And certainly we see it in her personal life too. Like she dates douchebags because she inherently doesn't feel like she can do any better. And she's going to take these sort of breadcrumby scrap relationships with cheaters because she's still the ugly 13-year-old who doesn't think anyone's legitimately going to like her. Kylie has no victim narrative. I believe she does maybe inside because I don't think she has a great relationship with Travis Scott. We've talked about him before and how he cheats and how his over-the-top gifts are actually a huge red flag of him being a fuckboy and being kind of a gaslighter. But, he is a devoted dad. I would rather date Travis Scott than all the basketball dudes Khloe's dated. But it's not about who you date. Again, that's just a manifestation of something larger. Kylie never talks about who she used to be. She never references that awkward 16-year-old before the lip injections and the surgery and the hair extensions. Ever. That person died. She killed that persona. She killed that label that she was living, and she has stepped into a completely new one. And when you reinvent yourself, that's what you have to do. A butterfly, when it hatches from the cocoon, it doesn't drag that fucking thing around with it for the rest of its butterfly life. It leaves it. It says, thank you for being what I needed at the time. Thank you for being part of my overall journey, but not the destination, right? And who we are that fuels us to reinvent ourselves really is, it's just that. It's a signpost. I reinvented myself when I did it twice. I did it when I was 14. I went from a tiny middle school full of nerds. we were. And I went into high school and I was like, I am going to be popular. I'm going to be prom queen. And I was. I was ASB president. Like, I rose to the top of that food chain very purposefully. That's what I wanted. And you shouldn't like tell yourself that that's silly to want. Social inclusion needs are huge for human beings. We're tribes, we're pack animals. Social inclusion needs, like from a caveman standpoint, was crucial to survival. You couldn't survive on your own. You needed a tribe and they needed to like you. They needed to see that you had value. So when we feel that, it's a very innate biological response we have. Now, if you're looking at why you want to be popular, like if you want to be popular, like I wanted to be popular because I wanted to live the typical high school experience. You know, I wanted to maximize that experience. I wanted to do all of those like foundational things, the prom court, running for class president, all of that stuff, you know, the really stereotypical high school stuff. I didn't want to be on the fringes, but I didn't think that being popular was going to save me from myself. I knew I was still going to have all the same issues I did, whether I had a tiara on my head or a campaign poster in my hand or what. And like, I knew that because I experienced it real quick. Like I got to the popular group and I'm like, I'm still me. I'm still dealing with the same things. But I did level up. I leveled up again after I left college. I mean, of course, in a sorority I did, because like in a sorority, you just learn literally so many beauty techniques and like, you're just not allowed to go out looking grubby. Like, girls are going to flat iron your hair. They're going to wax your mustache. Like they're going to level you up. But then like when I got to New York, I took another quantum leap because I was around, again, like so many other people who were broadening my horizons in terms of how I looked, how I carried myself, what my goals were, what I brought to the table in terms of conversation. It was just a big jump. If you don't believe that maybe I've glowed up a little in my life, take a look at these pictures. This is me in high school. I mean, oh boy. And I haven't like done anything to myself. I'm just a little bit more put together. So back to Kylie, right? Let's talk more about Kylie. So she left her old self behind. And you have to take the good parts of you, you know, right? You want to take all the things that you love about yourself as well. You don't want to completely annihilate. We'll get to that later too. So she was smart in that she left behind her victim narrative. She completely shed that skin. The next thing that she did that was smart is she found a passion. She found something to latch onto, to like a rocket to hold onto to blast her into a new level. And that was her makeup line. I personally don't think it's great makeup, but she likes it and it's great for her and people like it. So, and it gave her, that gives her a sense of self-worth and confidence and purpose, right? There's a little bit of toxicity tied into that because she's so focused on outward appearances versus like her inner core of self-esteem. And the makeup is, again, an extension of that, but that's okay. So again, the two things Kylie did right: she left behind her victim narrative, stopped talking about it, because if you talk about it, like even to your friends, it still gives it power. You're still living it. It has to be out of sight, out of mind. Do not speak on the person you used to be. Don't speak about her, and don't speak to her in your own mind. Don't talk to like dorky 16-year-old Shallon. Don't do it. I'm talking to boss bitch 30-year-old Shallon. That's who I'm talking to. But Kylie, she didn't do everything right, right? You know, when I said before the cold-blooded animal thing, I've said before that Kylie is a cold-blooded animal in that, just like a regular cold-blooded animal, like a snake, they're dependent on their environment to keep it alive, to regulate their core temperature. And people are like that with their self-esteem. She needs the likes, the makeup, the Photoshop, the Facetune, the comments. She needs that to feel like a whole person. Rihanna, on the other hand, doesn't need any of those things. She's low key. She's understated. When she makes an appearance, she shows up and she shows out, but she's not documenting every single thing that she's doing. She's not living for likes. She's not on the gram all the time. She can go out with no makeup and know that she is just as bad as if she's out in like a full Gaultier gown. You know, that's a warm-blooded animal. That is who we need to aspire to be. Someone who knows her worth, independent of what anyone else has to say about it. And she knows her worth because she does things that build worth. You want self-esteem, you have to do esteemable things. You have to be devoted to learning and diversifying your life, helping others and giving back. Rihanna has a charity, right? She has her own makeup line. She has clothes. She has designer Fenty collaborations. She obviously has her music. She's diversified herself in a way that she is so much more than just her physical outside, right? So this is where Kylie kind of got it wrong. She relied on external solutions. You know, she hoped that an external solution like surgery would lead what's inside. And it doesn't work like that. You can put on all the makeup you want. It has to come from within. That is the core of self-esteem. That is the warm-blooded animal, right? Wouldn't you rather be able to regulate your temperature than have to put on 55 coats? I would. So Kylie did it backward. She thought, okay, if I get the hair and the lips and the breast implants and the fat transfers, I'm going to feel different. Everywhere you go, there you are. This is a phrase my mom used to say. Hippies love that phrase. They can't get enough of it. But it means you can't outrun yourself. You can't. You're stuck with your issues and yourself no matter what, no matter where in the world you are, no matter what you put on the outside until you decide to sit and resolve them by doing those things I just mentioned to become the warm-blooded animal, right? Another thing Kylie failed to do is have any hobbies. And I know you're like, well, her makeup line, that's business. A hobby is something you do just because you love it. I love to bake. And there's this pressure kind of now in society to always monetize your hobbies. Well, if you're good at baking, you should have an online cupcake store and you should be selling them by the side of the road. Oh, you do needlepoint? Why don't you have an Etsy? You designed that jacket? You should be selling it. And it's it sucks the fun out of it. Everyone likes sex. No one wants to be a prostitute. You know what I mean? When you're doing something because you have to, because money's involved, it kind of sucks the fun out of it. So have a hobby that is dorky. Have a hobby that your 9-year-old self would love, because that's really when we were at our most clear and our most pure. And I tell you guys, a good way to build self-esteem and confidence and to get in touch with your passions is to think back on what 9-year-old you would have loved to do for a day. You had an afternoon, what was it going to be? Ice skating, baking, going to the museum and learning about dinosaurs, making slime, painting, writing a poem? Get back to that. Devote a few hours a week, even a month, to being that 9-year-old again and tap into something fun, because that's going to do a few things. You're going to see opportunities for fun and passion, creativity in the rest of your life, and it's going to make you light up inside. And everyone wants to be around the person who's in love with their own life. Everyone is drawn to that kind of magnetism, because that's what it is. It's magnetism. That's what a leader is. And that is how you truly reinvent yourself. You get back to the parts of yourself you like. Reinvention isn't just about paving over the parts you don't. It's about accentuating everything that is good about you. Because you might not be able to erase all the things you don't like. If you have cankles, that sucks. You're kind of stuck with them. So instead of hating your body and focusing on that, amplify the things that you love about yourself and that other people love. And Kylie kind of didn't do that. You guys say all the time, you watch old episodes of Kardashians, and Kylie had such a cool, quirky personality. And now she's just she's so flat. And I watched Life of Kylie the other day, I rewatched it, and I'm she does have more personality than I thought she would. And the bar was really low. I was she's just going to be a paper plate. But she was more interesting than I thought. I still wouldn't say she was interesting in general, but there was something there, and it would be great if she would dial that up and dial down the Facetune, dial down the titty shots and the selfies. It's so one-dimensional. It's all right, you're pretty. What else? Because you know what? Pretty girls are a dime a dozen. And true reinvention is not about how you look. It's about what you bring to the world. And like I said, the magnetism. Are you glowing from within? Rihanna is very debatably pretty. Some people think she's hideous and looks like an alien. Weird. But she doesn't care. And that's not why people are drawn to her. Same with Kourtney Kardashian. She's a bad bitch. I don't think she's interesting, just like Kim said, to look at. But boys love her. They're obsessed with her because she has that magnetism, that X factor. Khloe is now objectively very pretty, but there's this weakness and this desperation that you can feel off of her. And that's why she has bad luck. And kind of same with Kylie. There's a vulnerability and a weakness that comes from an unsteady core of self-esteem. So the last thing that Kylie did that makes me the craziest is that she doesn't give back to people. When I said esteemable, or people with self-esteem do esteemable things, the number one thing that is giving back. Volunteering, being altruistic, helping other people is the secret of life. It is the antidote to anxiety. I don't want to fucking hear about your anxiety, all right? Anxiety is self-absorption plus the feeling of perceived powerlessness. And neither one of those has to be true. When you're giving back to other people, when you're in a soup kitchen serving Vietnam veterans or whatever, I bet you're not thinking about your social life. You know why? Because you're realizing you have a purpose. You're realizing you have value beyond who you're sleeping with, what your grades are, what your parents say about you. You are activated and magnetic. And you also realize you have some personal power. You have something to give back to this world. You have value. Kylie doesn't do that. I remember, because I used to work for CELEB magazine, I remember getting a lead from a reporter that we didn't end up using, but it was like, Kris Jenner has really been encouraging Kylie to start like a charity for single moms or something. And Kylie like balked. She's like, I work really hard. Okay. I'm not giving my money away to like other people. Maybe they should work as hard as I do. Feel free to share your thoughts on that. And like, maybe that isn't true, but I don't know what charity she does do. I don't know what charity any of them do. And I've said this in every Kardashian video, that my big problem with them is not that they make money, not that they're talentless. I think they deserve every dime that they have, but they don't give anything back to other people. Finally, Kim is like getting the memo and like going to law school and trying to get people out of jail. And that's great, but they could be doing so much more. If they had every one of their followers donate $1, Kylie alone could raise $140 million. Think about that. Think about how long that could fund Planned Parenthood. That could probably overturn like NRA lobbyists and get some gun control in this fucking country. She could eradicate a social issue or a disease, and she doesn't. And because she doesn't, she's always going to be weak. They all will. They're not giving back anything. And until you do, you're always going to be self-consumed, self-obsessed, and that's going to limit your growth. You are never going to truly level up if you don't realize that the world needs something that you have to give. Like if you look at people who are like old money, you know, like the Kennedys. Well, not the Kennedys because they're on this weird anti-vaxxing thing now, but like people who are old money know that they have an obligation to give back. Like I grew up lucky in terms of my family's position, and I'm just born white and rich and pretty and well-educated in America. Like I hit the jackpot, you know? So whenever I feel bad and like down on myself, I'm like, you're doing fine. Like you're doing fine. But I was taught that my vote and my life's work is of course to look after my own best interests, like of course, but to help other people who weren't born as lucky. People who are working way harder than me. I mean, are you kidding me? People work minimum wage jobs. You think they're working less hard than a YouTuber? Like give me a break. Give me a break. And they're just trying to keep their head above water. And like the fact that Kylie and her family is not reaching that conclusion like blows my mind. And that tells me they've got a low mentality. I've got a rich person's mentality because my mentality is I need to give back to other people. I want to help people to get up to my station because I'm not afraid. No one's going to take it away from me. No one's going to take my family's power and influence away from me. No one's going to take my own influence away. I'm good. So I am confident enough. I have that core where I'm not worried about someone unseating me. So I feel comfortable giving back. There's plenty of seats at the table for everyone to be successful, for everyone to have healthcare, for everyone to be welcome in this country and doing fine. It doesn't have to be this like hoarder mentality. And the fact that Kylie does kind of have that, you know, based on her behaviors and her lack of giving back, shows me that maybe she is still kind of stuck in that 16-year-old self where it's like, I got to hoard everything I have because I have no one else to rely on, because I'm not confident that I actually belong here. It's kind of imposter syndrome, right? And the way we get over that is to give back and to do good work, not just in our lives, but in the lives of others, right? This probably didn't go where you thought it was going to go, right? You probably thought it was going to be like hair and makeup. But you know what? Let's talk about it. You want to reinvent yourself in a meaningful like way? Stand up straight, learn how to blow your hair out, bleach your teeth, have 2 eyebrows. You start there, you're already leaps and bounds ahead of where you were. The shoulders got to go back. Like I see so many teenage girls with like great bodies, but they're like slithering around like a turtle without a shell. I was like, you might as well be 30 pounds heavier because that's how you look. You have the posture of a person with a bad body. And roll those shoulders back. Eyebrows, like I said, you need 2. You need 0 mustaches. And usually if you have a unibrow situation, you have a mustache situation. I didn't make the rules. Learn to blow your hair out. Go to Dry Bar or Blow or whatever, like once or twice, and ask them a million questions. What kind of brush are you using? What kind of products? Really pay attention to what they do. Go get those products. You can get like cheap round brushes at Target, you know? Go home and watch YouTube tutorials on how to blow your hair out. Bleach your teeth. Get some Crest white strips. Your teeth don't have to be straight, but they do have to be white, right? And then take care of your skin. Sunblock, Proactive, night creams. And you're going to be like 75% of the way there in terms of glow up. The rest is just like window dressing, just like a few jazzy outfits, a few like trips to Sephora to get a different kind of like foundation that matches, and you're good. The rest of it comes from inside. For more, click like and subscribe for 4 new videos a week. And like I said, follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO for daily inspirational tips and you guys getting to weigh in and pick the next video topic. I'll see you later, guys.